Call to order Town Board regular meeting number 19 for October 17th, 2016. Roll call.
Councilman Dota.
Here.
Councilman Aronica.
Here.
Councilwoman Kinney.
Here.
Councilman Madigan.
Here.
Supervisor McMurray.
Here. The invocation will be done by Island United Presbyterian Church, and the pledge will be led by Councilman Mike Madigan. Thank you.
Let us pray. God of justice and mercy, thank you for the gift of life and the opportunity to serve the people of our town. Help us to act with character and conviction. Help us to listen with understanding and goodwill. Help us to speak with charity and restraint. Give us a spirit of service. Remind us that we are stewards of your authority. Guide us to be the leaders your people need. Help us see the humanity and dignity of those who disagree with us, and to treat all persons, no matter how weak or poor, with the reverence your creation deserves. And finally, Father, renew us with the strength of your presence and the joy of helping to build a community worthy of the human person. We ask this as your sons and daughters, confident in your goodness and love. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll begin the meeting with public comments on agenda items only. If you have a public comment on an agenda item, please come to the mic. State your name and address, and your comments should be kept to 2 minutes. Thanks.
Good evening, Pat Akinbani, 2227 West River Road. Two of our local politicians are calling for open road tolling using electronic sensors. Many of the reasons cited in the Dispatch's article resonate with those for not closing the West River Parkway and moving its traffic to a service road. Now, wouldn't it be great if our representatives induced New York State to dedicate some of those toll receipts to improve the quality of the Beaver Island Park and Buckhorn State Park, and of course, the environs of the West River Parkway. Grand Island has a unique asset in that river parkway. It provides a dramatically different scenic experience from that of the bicycle and biking trails so abundantly available these days. The parkway is not too valuable to remain as it is. It is too valuable for it not to remain as it is. Keep the parkway open. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ann Williams, 1123 West River Road. I don't belong to any kind of group or association. I agree with Mrs. Akinbani. Just in regards to paving the median, I haven't seen anybody talk about the probable cause with cars being parked along the strip of road. If I understand it correctly, the path goes the 8-mile stretch, and it would be totally accessible. I think that people would park on the service road, which would cause untold hazards. I mean, it really makes me nervous. Also, that it would cause drainage and runoff problems to both the parkway and the service road. I just wanted to mention that. And just on a different note, I talked and emailed Andrew Laverty at the New York State Parks Department a number of times. She answers every email. She calls me back, and if she asks me permission to clarify something, she's proofread a letter that I wrote, not proofread, but fact checked the letter that I wrote. And I just wanted to speak, no matter how this all turns out, she's really been great, and I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Hi, Michelle Minix, 827 West River Road, and I just wanted to come up tonight to say that I am extremely opposed to closing the parkway, and I am in favor of what is now Proposal 4 to put in the multi-use pathway along the service road for a number of reasons, most of which have already been stated, but I did want to go on the record as letting people know that's my position. Thank you.
5, share the road, and then an alternate of option 4 with the multi-use parkway. And I'm totally against option 3. And then also I wanted to thank the 4 board members that showed up to the Grand Island meeting, along with Mr. Sharp and Ms. Frenzel for your time at the day of Grand Island High School. Thank you.
Bonnie Fitzgerald, West River Road. I too wanted to thank the board members and especially Mr. Sharp for hosting it or monitoring it. It went very well, very informative. The temperament went better than I had hoped. Patty, thank you for your time as well too. Couldn't have asked for a better meeting. I am for share the road, build a bike path, but I deeply oppose the option 3 of closing the parkway. Thank you again.
I'm John Kane. I live at 1711 West River Road. I also would like to thank the town council, but I would especially like to thank Mr. Sharp for being there and listening to what we had to say. And I also wanted to thank Mike Madigan and Bonnie Fitzgerald for their presentations on option 4 and 5, which I am for, and against option 3. Thank you.
My name is Red Shope, and I'm a resident, 1029 West River Road. I was impressed by the meeting on Thursday night, and I was glad to see that Jim and Bev were there. I was glad to see that the rest of the board was there as well. I think it was a positive meeting. I think there were a lot of positive things said. It's really too bad there was nobody there to represent option 3 because the option was open, and there was really nobody there to make that presentation. Option 4, I think, is the only viable alternative. Like the idea of the shared parkway, but I think the weekends are the time when the parkway is probably utilized by non-residents to get to the river and access the water the way it is. I would like to go on record as opposed to option 3 and in favor of option 4.
Okay, with that, I'll close the public comments period. I'll move on to the public hearings. Oh, yes, sir, go ahead.
Mike Jablon from 2667 Staley Road, and I would like to state that I'm fully in favor of option 3. I think that option leaves the most open for all the Grand Island residents to utilize that and make it into a parkway where it still works for biking, hiking, duck hunting, the snowmobile club. It's not a little path going down this road that's there now where the little kids can still have to be worried about getting hit by cars. If the parkway, which is just going to turn into a rotted mess for the state, I believe is eventually just going to shut it down anyway, I think for the good of all of Grand Island, that the parkway should be closed. Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Lynn Markin, West River Road. I am opposed to closing the parkway, and I just wanted to also thank all of the members here who came to the meeting last week at the school. I found it very informative and actually learned more myself, and I appreciated all the people who got up to speak, and I also wanted to thank all of you for coming.
Megan's Jill, my house, I live at 1540 The Dell. And I do want to go on record by saying I was at both meetings last Thursday. I went to both on purpose because I'm for the good of Grand Island and I want to hear what everybody has to say. And I do want to say publicly that I believe that there were people in attendance on Thursday's meeting at the high school that did want to speak in favor of option 3. And those of us who were there, if you remember, the beginning of the meeting was extremely disorganized. There was a gentleman who tried to get up about 3 times in a row to speak about option 3 and was basically shooed back to his seat. And shortly after, I felt very uncomfortable, and I actually left the meeting and went to the meeting at the VFW, which was a very nice, open, warm, positive environment. Thank you.
My name is Mark Doss. I live at 825 North County Road, and I attended the meeting at the school. And it wasn't that the gentleman was shunned back. He wanted to ask questions, and it wasn't to ask questions, it was to state their position, as I remember. But I was just curious, if the deal breaker is that they want to get rid of the Parkway, why doesn't Great Island take over the Parkway? I mean, it's the DOT that doesn't want to take care of the Parkway, is the way I understand it. Just a question I'd like to have answered.
With that, I will close the, no repeats today, I'm sorry. The meeting's been going so long, I apologize. I want to close the public hearing for agenda items. Move on to a public hearing. We need to have a public hearing on the bond resolution pertaining to the increase in improvements of facilities of the consolidated sewer district. I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, Mike Madigan, moved by Councilman Aronica. Roll call. We don't need a hearing on it?
No, you need to hear it. You don't need a motion to
Motion?
open. I usually either read the pertinent part or verify that it's been published.
Okay.
And then if you have any speakers, they can come up at the time, not for or against, but anything. A meeting of the town board will be held on October 17th to consider the increase in improvements of facilities of the consolidated sewer district, wastewater treatment plant, parking lot improvements, and to hear all persons interested in the subject thereof.
So, is there anyone who wants to speak on this resolution? Doesn't seem to be the case. So I will entertain a motion to adopt the resolution in order as distributed for the consolidated sewer district.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Second one would be to adopt the bond resolution.
Now you can read the first part of that.
I can read the opening paragraph. The bond resolution dated today is authorizing the capital improvement project within the town of Grand Island Consolidated Sewer District at an estimated maximum cost of $250,000 bonds and an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $250,000 of the town pursuant to the local finance law, said amount to be offset by the
Against option 3, 81%. For option 4, there was 60% were for option 4, and for option 5, it was 30% of the speakers. And additionally, we did a survey, and there was 199 people that responded. Out of those 199, 67% were for option 4. Let's see, just 77% strongly rejected option 3, 9% strongly rejected option 4, and 5% were strongly for option 5. So just wanted to give that quick feedback. This is actually in the packet, so if you wanted to look online for some additional details, feel free. So it's actually in the packet on the Grand Island website. And with that, that's it.
Communications from John Whitney in engineering. We've been asked to approve the public improvement permit for phase 1 for Gun Creek PDD. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this item? Roll call.
Kenny? Aye. Delacoe?
Aye.
Veronica? Aye. Madigan?
Aye.
McMurray?
Aye. The planning board has recommended we grant preliminary plat approval for the Love Road and Alt Boulevard subdivision SBL number 50.00-3-1.11. The public hearing has been held and all necessary timeframes have been met. I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Communications from Barbara Gannon at the Golden Age Center. We do accept with regret the resignation of Adam Januso as a part-time recreation attendant at the Golden Age Center. Excuse me. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Barb needs permission to hire a full-time recreation attendant, Erin Kristen Monet, at the rate of $15.23 an hour, starting November 1. This was the cook position that she has decided would be better served as a rec attendant. CSEA is already aware. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll second that. We get a comment though at some point. Oh, Thank you.
Is there a second, Mike Madigan? Is discussion on this point?
Just real quick, just for public education, the pay difference between the two positions is almost insignificant, 2 cents. So that's just a point, just in case you're curious.
Just before we actually approve this, one of the things that we require is that all appropriate pre-employment issues are taken care of. Because you gotta fill out paperwork and you have to do some other things before you actually can start working.
Right.
So we always state that even though it's not in the.
So I'll change the resolution. I'll entertain a resolution to hire Erin Kristen Monet at the rate of $15.23 an hour, starting November 1, subject to all pre-employment screening procedures. I'll make the motion. The second will be, we have the motion. All in favor then? Aye. Number 12, communications from the planning board. A special public hearing was held on October 11th regarding local law intro number 7. The planning board has tabled any recommendations regarding this law until the next meeting on November 14, 2016. Mike, can you give us a report of the audit committee?
Yes. So I'd like to make a motion to pay the following amounts out of the following accounts. The general fund, $37,097.10. Sewer fund, $9,234.68. Water fund, $142,598.15. Capital fund, $222,869.21. I have a bad eye, sorry. I gotta detach retina from. Refuse and garbage, $116,128. Fire, $269 and, oh, sorry. The top one? $289,000, so for fire, $289,808.75. Thank you, Beth. And the total is $817,735.89.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Unfinished business, we have been waiting on approval for the sewer extension for the Elderwood Grand Island Independent Senior Housing at 2800 Grand Island Boulevard from the Erie County Department of Health. We finally have it, and now can act on the recommendation from the planning board to approve site plan application for the Elderwood expansion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We still have to decide how to move forward with the parking lot extension for the parks. Removed it?
We can remove it.
We can remove it,
We can
okay.
do it in-house.
Got it. Great. Great resolution.
Oh.
What's that?
Suspend the rules.
Well, I'll get to that. Yeah, we're almost there. Sorry. We need to suspend the rules for 2 items that were not placed on the agenda but need to be addressed due to time constraints. So I will entertain a motion to suspend the rules for both items, right, Patty? And let's call Patricia. I don't know if it's offensive to you or not.
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
So the first item, Judges Mark Frenzel and Sybil Kennedy need approval to hire Laura Krasinski as clerk to town justice, grade 6, step A, at $18.40 an hour, with a non-union salary schedule, with a hire date of 10/18/2016. She is currently part-time in the Parks Department and will continue to work there 3 days a week in Parks for the next 2 weeks as she transitions. The board respectfully asks the clerks to be flexible when Laura's replacement is found, so Laura can provide some training to the new person in Parks. So I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this point?
I'd just like to reiterate the importance of getting Laura to help train the new person in the Parks Department. lot going on there. If one person to come in and just try to do it on their own, it would be not efficient for the town. So however the clerk can work her hours so she can at least spend a little bit of time there, it would really be beneficial.
Yeah, agreed. She's a dynamo, right? She does a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's a big loss for parks. So hopefully they can work that out. Okay, some good news today from Bev Kinney. Oh, we need to make a motion for that? We did. Yeah. No, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm excited to have share the good news. Go ahead.
Well, the good news is that my cable and communication board, which I'm liaison to, has been working on the Time Warner contract since January with the Cohen Group. And they have come through with a settlement agreement between the town of Grand Island and Time Warner Cable for back money. They did an audit. This goes back probably around 5 years. So we will be receiving $67,540, which is found money for us. And going forward, they will be adjusting what they pay us each year by about $12,000. So that'll be extra revenue in our pockets. So with that, and also just a note on that too, is that this is just the first part of a Time Warner contract that we've been without a contract, I think, since 1999. After this is done and signed by the supervisor, between 4 to 6 weeks, we should have a final contract for the Cable and Communication Board to look over and recommend to the town for us to look it over and hopefully finalize that. In the process, there's what they call PEGS, which is Public Education and Government. There's a grant, it's a $300,000 grant. So we partnered up with the school to possibly get equipment with that $300,000 grant to start a production company with cameras to produce and film football games, town board meetings, whatever, Kid Biz, the parade, that whole thing. So it's exciting. I'm hoping that we actually make it happen this time. It's been a long haul. I have an awesome board with 4 new members coming on board this month. So I'm really, really, really thrilled with what we've been able to do. So with that, I would like to make a motion for the supervisor to approve the supervisor signing the settlement agreement between the town of Grand Island and the Time Warner contract.
Is there a second?
Second.
Just some quick discussion. So again, it's a contract that's been long outstanding. We're getting more money from Time Warner, plus we're getting some money to create a production studio, which I can hopefully use to finish my lifelong work, a 10-part documentary on the life and work of Peter Godfrey. I'm sorry. Just kidding, sorry. No, but it's a good, sorry. No, it's going to be good for the town. We can use it to create all kinds of interesting things. Kids, I mean, this is the future for a lot of kids that get into production and development. So I'm excited about it, Deb. Way to go.
So vote.
Okay, all in favor?
So.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, are there any more?
Their PowerPoint, and it's very clear as to what the option is, or what the description for that particular project is. But options 4 and 5 is a guess, and everybody's guessing what they are. So I'm guessing option 4, from what I'm hearing, is that we're going to find extra money to put in extra pavement in between 2 roads that already exist. And from what I understand of option 5, we're going to, on nights and weekends, and maybe from Memorial Day to Labor Day or something like that, close the parkway. But there's still no specifics. What is the cost? Where are people parking? Who's maintaining it? That seems to be the biggest question, maintenance and cost. Oh, I'm sorry, I've got to wrap it up real quick. So just for public record, I am definitely in favor of option 3. I sincerely believe that more people will use the repurposed parkway as a path and a park than cars are currently doing. Thanks.
So I do think she had a valid question as far as the posting. for the meeting, the town board meeting that we held last Thursday, what we could do, Patty, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we could, the PowerPoint that we actually gave the presentation, which gives much of the details that she asked for, we could put that in there, could we? On the town board,
We could link it.
yeah, we could link it in. So I could just send you the PowerPoint and we could post it on the website, right?
Probably works something out for Julie.
Okay, so we'll get it posted.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And Oliver, West River. A couple quick things. Who actually knows that the grant was for an ADA? Has anybody seen the grant that was passed? Can I have a copy of that?
I don't have it with me, but yeah.
Yeah, in the future. You know, some other things that are bothering me about this meeting we had on October 6th. People that chose not to go there shouldn't be talking if they didn't have an option, you know, not to speak on their, you know, whatever way they wanted to vote on, you know. People were having cider and donuts at some other place, and now they're saying that they didn't have an opportunity to speak, but they were there. They didn't go to the meeting. So, you know, I don't think it's right that people, especially certain people from other areas, you know, all of a sudden they seem to, something funny seems like it's going on. People seem to sit in the same area over here, and then they live on different roads, and then they're coming up saying.
Let's not get into.
Well, I'm just saying.
Thank you. Sir, let's get
Some
off the topic.
Let's stay constructive.
Thank you.
Be constructive.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks. Okay. With that, I will close the public hearing. Oh, one more, sorry. Sure, go on.
For the record, I was at the meeting, and I was in favor of the option that was lost in this whole process, which was do nothing. That was early on a proposed option that people did vote on, and then it was just suddenly dropped. I'm in favor of do nothing. But I also wanted to speak about a law, local laws, or codes for R2 development that was discussed either earlier this year or last year. We had a committee that was formed that worked to help reword R2 development. And in that law, I had concerns about making duplexes in nonconformity with R2 development. And I wanted to thank you, Nathan, because you did rewrite that part of that law, and I had the chance to run that by somebody more knowledgeable about that terminology. And I was informed that you did in fact address my concern, and I wanted to thank you for doing that for me. Or for people
For us,
that have
we did
duplexes.
it together. Thank you, though, for saying. Okay, with that, I will close the public hearing. Are there any comments from the town board?
I have one, actually two things. First of all, at our last meeting, I made a statement, and I'm truly sorry, Kelly Petrie, in Grand Island News. The statement had to do with the recording of workshop meetings, which I believed it predated a particular meeting back in early May, and my facts were wrong. And I truly apologize. I think I made an inappropriate statement. I should not have. I'm truly sorry.
Thank you. Accept your apology.
Thank you.
Any other
And
comments?
I actually have a second one. Well, I'm at the apology program here. Earlier this year, I was just made aware of something this past week. During our budgeting discussion, we were talking about a particular position, and I gotta admit, I have a little bit of a blind spot. I wasn't thinking in terms of there is actually a body that's in there, Jackie McGinty in this case. And I failed to really recognize that some of the things I was discussing which really shouldn't have been said out loud or publicly, and I am very aware of that now because she brought it to my attention, which I greatly appreciate, and I'm very sorry for having misspoke back in March regarding that topic. So I apologize to her as well. So, thanks.
Any other comments from the town board? Councilman Aronica? Yeah, just one really quick comment myself. You know, it was a good set of meetings tonight. I enjoyed being here. I do want to say to everyone in attendance, I really do love Grand Island. And I think so many of us love Grand Island. I can feel the passion about so many issues. And we care so deeply about so many different things. And that comes across, there's positive ways it comes across and negative ways. I will also take a page out of what Mike was saying. I'm learning as a supervisor that sometimes passion and enthusiasm can come across as arrogant. And I hate to jump on the Trump-Pence campaign tonight, and that's not what I'm doing. But Mike Pence said something I thought was very poignant the other day, where he said when he first became a public figure, and people said negative things about him, he wanted to lash back, and that was something he had to learn. And now he can get his role and flow. And I hope to get to that point where I can be that same type of person, so I don't unintentionally hurt other people. And even if I'm passionate about something, to do it in a way that pushes the town forward and does it in a way that's respectful. And I will try to do that going forward. And I do care deeply about so many of you, and I'm so glad you care about this town the same way. With that being said, I'm glad to get out of here tonight. My son had surgery on his tooth, and I can't wait to see him. So a motion in order to adjourn tonight's meeting at the time. 8:44. All in favor?
Raise don't sing any time.
Any opposed?
He says, so.
Like a world record.
Oh,
Germans.
Before we close, I always forget to do this. Before we close, I want to observe a moment of silence in memory of Donald Buchap, Thomas Slow, Robert Swan, George Freeman, James Miller. The young people can come over, we'll sign your paperwork, please.
I remember.